Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another podcast here, there, and everywhere. If you don't know already, the podcast is available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes Podcasts, any place you find your podcasts. Go find it if you want to listen. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit today about MCOC and also about Moon Knight. And yes, as always, each and every week and each and every show, I'm joined with Dan of Frontline MCOC, who you can find at www.frontlinemcoc.home.blog and also under the handle at FrontlineMCC. Dan, it's another week. It's all go.
Yes, another week. Lots of stuff happening. So I guess we should get get right into it because I think you were at the forefront of one of these issues this week.
Oh yeah, the kind of units not displaying properly bug.
Right. Now, you've been super focused on your units because, as we've talked about, you're trying to get that 10K offer, which goes up to 12K for Act 7.4 completion next week. So, obviously, you are watching your unit gain like a hawk. So, break it down. Like, what happened here?
Well, I was all kind of like, I'll get me a little spreadsheet up for anybody's watching on YouTube, but anybody listening to kind of explain everything. So I've been doing this kind of tally type thing of like how my units have gone from the 23rd of March based on some of the content that I've been recording. I went back and, okay, so 23rd of March I had 5,414 units, 7th of April I had 7,004 units, 11th of April I had, in the morning I had 8,027, and in the afternoon I had, after recording a video about opening arena crystals, I had 8,957 units. But in the video, which I recorded, it said that I had a one pack of arena crystals. I had 300 units. In the next pack, I had 375 units. And in the final pack of opening, I got 495 units, which totaled 1,170 units. So in actuality, I should have been on in the afternoon session, not 8,957 units, but 9,197 units. So I'm there looking at it like, I'm missing 240 units. And I'm like, oh, god damn it. Because it gave me that kind of like buzz of like excitement that I'm like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, you were getting close. Yeah,
I'm getting close. I don't need to grind out quite so much. But then the more that, I mean, I have covered this in like a news show type thing, going like, okay, we're missing units. I kind of been wanting to cover it more consistently because it is very much, and as even kabam Mike like said in the CCP chat, like it is really it's disparaging. It's I can't remember the terminology he used for it, but it was kind of like he agreed that it was kind of like it's not great to kind of think that you have more units. You're going to be getting more units than you've actually got, and especially like but you can play. The thing is, you can play around with gold and kind of go, oh right, more gold, and it's like, oh, more shards than you think. Oh, it's shards, but it's those units. Don't you touch a man's units?
Units are money.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you're on the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So was it just a visual bug? Were you actually supposed to have the higher unit total? Or
no.
No, you weren't. Okay. So like the display on the opening was incorrect.
That's correct. Yeah. So that's so I was looking at one of these crystal packs open, like the 300 might have been correct, the 375 might have been correct, but the 495 pack that I got, the last pack, was probably something like in all actuality it was half of that, so to speak. Ooh. And it's like, oh, you look at that going, and I started this new series, and it was like I had to start. The thing is, I had to start the series where it's called RNG Wars, where I kind of I take screenshots from
RNG Wars.
Yeah, I take screenshots from players that have kind of opened up, say, 10 uncollected arena crystals, and I see what I can get as a result, and then kind of like I look at what I got. The biggest problem is I had to start it now because I've got to open up those arena crystals whilst the bug is around, because I need the units in order to get the deal. I can't it might have been slightly possible if I had the time, which I don't now, to kind of save past the bug being fixed to then display it correctly. But you know, at this given stage, I can't start taking further risks with that grind and going, I'll keep all my battle chips, and you know, wait until after. We'll do the series then. But it's like I really can't. I need the deal first because I don't want to lose 2,000 units. Like I stand to lose more as a result of not completing. I stand to lose more if I don't open up those arena crystals. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to plow through and do it, which is annoying because the first episode then kind of like is and could be incorrect with what I get. So I have to like do something more in episode 2 when I do it in about 2 to 3 months time, once hopefully this visual bug has been fixed. But what a palaver.
Yeah, no, and I haven't seen anything on the forums or anything really about it, so I don't know where we're at on this from an official kabam standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I was just answering to I see loads of threads popping up. I actually answered one today. I thought I'll do a bit of work for kabam on kind of responding to somebody. I think Kabam Zanzibar actually closed it. Yeah, so like somebody put, it's been a while. I noticed that when I opened Arena Crystal, the number of units sometimes go up, blah blah blah. My response to them was, "Hey, this is an ongoing bug. Kabam are investigating." And the player's response is, "I see, but Kabam must see it and react." And it's like, well, they did, and Kabam Zanzibar actually closed the thread and on it because there's multiple threads on it, and it's. I think you're right. There's no kind of official line for it to be fixed, which does kind of give a lot of frustration because everyone's like, oh no, I don't want to. I'm like, oh yay, I've got loads of units. Oh no, I have nothing.
Right.
There's a few visual glitches about at the moment. Crossbones has kind of been giving high prestige.
I've seen, that one was with the update.
Yeah. Good for Crossbones owners and users and high signatured.
Good temporary bonus there.
Exactly.
Those folks.
But bad news when it comes to other elements, like there's other things like increments of tier 2 alpha fragments, tier 5 basic fragments seem to be kind of like saying that players have a lot more than they have. I saw like I think it was like a 6 or 7 quadrillion gold. I think it was that, because I was like going, is this trillion? Like it's like I don't know. There's not such thing as 1,000 trillion. So I was trying to think like, well, what's kind of more than a trillion? Because it was like I've never seen so many numbers in one particular thing. It was crazy. Oh, what a time! Hey, what are you up to in game at the moment, Dan? Or how things going with you?
What am I up to? So I have been. I'm in the middle of 7.3. I've been working on my rifts, but actually this week I've kind of been going back to my free-to-play account, and which is uncollected, but I'm finishing off my runs on the collector this week. I don't know. For some reason, I was just like, I feel like getting this done and fighting the collector like 7 times this week. So I got one more run that I'm going to take care of tonight, and then I'll be 100% 726. Sorry. 526, because collector 526, and moving on to try to 100% Act 5 on my free-to-play. So,
nice.
Just kind of switching things up a little bit. Sometimes you just got to, you have an interest in the game. You're like, all right, this is what I'm going to do right now. So that's what I've been up to.
I think that's good to find that little kind of element of love back with the game. I have to think about that. I think once I've done my unit grind thing, and then I've done the 100% to 7.4 and Act 7 in general, I think I'm then going to make that decision of like, okay, where am I at, and what's my next goals or targets, and it will be a combination of going back to, because I think I might ongoing ditch doing Cavalier difficulty from a 100% standpoint for another month, and kind of go back to doing some other stuff, or kind of focusing on a Karina's challenge, saving up energy refills, hoarding, kind of grinding for revives, and doing some Karina's challenges, and at the same time maybe return back and kind of align some of those Karina's challenges with 100%ing certain things like Act 6.2.6, Act 6.4, and other stuff. And I think that's probably the way I might do, just to kind of in sort of a way catch up with this stuff, because I do feel kind of like I'm not. I do feel caught up, because that's still like a main thing. My main goal was to get a rank 4 6-star champion, which I will have done by that time. And I don't know what the plans are for Kabam's rollout of content. Will they put like another Grandmaster Gauntlet soon? It also depends on what happens at the end of the month, and whether or not me and you are talking next week about spring cleaning coming back. Right.
Yeah.
That could be quite exciting if they bring it back, because we've talked about this before. Well,
you can't necessarily count on it, and I know I've seen a lot of people say, "Why haven't they announced it yet?" It's like, well, I wouldn't read into them not announcing it as anything right now. Like, they don't put sales in the release notes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it always comes at a bit of a surprise, and it's like at the same time, never expect anything's gonna 100% come back every single year.
Right.
But it is it is like a good earner for Kabam. So
I have a hard time believing it's not coming back for that reason.
Exactly. Exactly. Actually, what else has kind of been kind of like getting the Alliance health potion situation, or the potion situation? It's kind of a weird end to it in sort of way. Like the situation is still open. It's still something that will be further discussed. But it was kind of weird, because it was the discussion on the forums. Like Kabam just said, no, we're not. Like we've done this now. Discussion has been closed. This is what you've got, and it still hasn't like been a good improvement for play. I mean, there's a lot of players that saying to me they're not going to be doing Alliance War seasons ongoing because of the changes being made to the potions. What kind of feelings are you getting from people on the matter?
I think it's been really sad, because even though I'm not a war person and don't play competitively, I mean, I do play the mode, but I'm not pushing myself and ripping through a lot of items at the level I'm at. I feel for the people that really genuinely enjoy the game, and that this is causing more stress. I mean, that's probably where I was with War 2.5 years ago, where I was was pushing for my ability and my account, and just say, this is too much stress. This, I don't like using the items. I don't like dying. I don't like worrying about letting people down. And really, made the choice to step back.
Yeah.
So it's sad to see other people going through the same thing. Like, especially because a lot of these people are like hyper competitive, and I would never say like I played the game for war.
Yeah.
It was just part of what I was doing. But there, you hear, I'm sure you see it. There's a lot of people like, this is the number one reason why I play.
Yeah.
With Alliance War, and like those people, I really feel for.
Yeah. And the same thing. I'm the same boat with you. Like I joined an Alliance 2 years. I think that when I kind of like left Alliance Wars, I left at a point with going like I was burnt out on the mode and the reg and the it was the stress at the time of going, look, if I die and I affect like how our Alliance performs. And I just wasn't happy with the way that the mode was kind of displayed. I mean, it's evolved a lot in 2 years of me not doing the mode. I'm a lot happier for kind of having that stress free, which allowed me to reinvigorate my interest in different areas of the game.
Right.
But like same with you. I see it from the players that enjoy this mode, enjoy the competitive nature to it, enjoy the resource management, which includes the potion as a resource management that they do on a monthly basis to take on the Alliance War. So it's sad. I think it's more sad because it's something that players and Kabam discuss a lot, and this particular back and forth has brought up some great discussions, but unfortunately it feels like we're dealing between a rock and a hard place, and it's very much a case of like when an unstoppable I can't remember the acronym for it. Is it something like the not acronym? When an unstoppable object meets an irremovable force, and it's like, you're just gonna collide on this.
Yeah, you've got a couple groups they're very much set in their positions. Like I think when you talk about there being sort of a lack of a resolution, you're really referring to, they're not going to roll this back wholesale and recombine Alliance War and Alliance Quest potions. Those are seems pretty clear. Those are going to be separate consumables. From now on. So what kabam did based on the new post and the kind of the update to their original update is they've increased the purchase limit with a scaling cost, and what they're going to be doing is, they haven't done it yet, but eventually they're going to increase the loyalty you can gain per war. So I've seen a lot of spreadsheets this week, a lot of math. kabam says they've pulled the numbers, they're tuning to the average, and a lot of this has to do with when we've had compensation for so long, and that it's tough when you've had compensation for what, like 6-7 months, because it's like that factors into everyone's planning now, because people have had that for like multiple seasons. It's kind of like baked in, and that's gonna go away at some point. It's so tricky because kabam can say like, oh, we've looked at the numbers. Like, we don't get to look at the numbers, and clearly they're tuning to the averages, but if you're not within the average, like, obviously you're going to feel some kind of pain there. I don't know, for me it comes down to kind of the same issue that has always been present in Alliance War, is that the cost of pushing spikes so quickly, so soon on the curve, that it doesn't make sense to do from a resource management standpoint.
Absolutely.
Like, maybe it makes sense from a competitive standpoint, or like, I want to be in Masters and I don't really care like what it costs and what I have to do. I want to do it to say that I did it, which is a whole other argument. But it's like, I'm in tier 4 right now, plat 4. I don't know where you're at, but for me and my alliance to get plat 4, like, maybe I'm using a potion a war, right?
Yeah.
So it's basic, especially with the compensation, that's nothing, right? But if I wanted to move up to plat 3, like, it's not like I'm going from 1 potion a war to 2 potions a war. Like, it could be 10 1 war, that's the thing, is like, the rewards from plat 4 to plat 3, or really you take any break, you take, they don't make sense. It's not like, oh, I'm spending X amount of time and resources and I feel like I'm getting an incremental gain. It's not there.
Yeah. This, I don't know whether or not this situation, I mean, kabam have kind of alluded to, they will continue like monitoring this situation ongoing. I don't really know what to say with it, because it's going to be a similar response I have when it comes to like champion rebalances and things, about the way that, say, stakeholder management is done. Like, when I was back, one of the things I learned for my business degree, and one of the things that kind of like I then put into motion when I used to manage the business that I did, and we had clients. We have people. You have staff. You have clients. You have higher ups. Your stakeholder management is your most important element to this. And the way that you keep client happy, staff happy, and higher ups happy is you kind of understand what is everybody looking to see from this, and whether or not when a change comes in, that the change management is understood, accepted, but at the same time, like how like all of them going forward are able to, all of us, align to the same goal. And what you largely, a lot of time you do is you go, okay, hello everybody, we're looking to do this change, or meant this change. What are your thoughts on this, and how would you feel this would be? Would this be beneficial? Will this be detrimental to any kind of like future operations? And you find out. You then make decisions based on that. And I know kabam are very kind of like cagey on doing those things. I mean, that's, you know, you look at these Summoner's Sanctums and go, okay, this is good.
Right.
Are we getting the feedback we need in order to, you know, take the game in certain directions that are positive for the player base, but also is adopted and accepted by everybody? And I just kind of think we are losing that mark. And I think it was since the 2020 bunny years, I just burned out and bored time. I kind of felt like, you know, Kabam had that wake up call to kind of understand, okay, well, players' feedback on this is where we'd like to see the game going. But then it's like, I don't know, seems to be like that level is kind of curved off between players, not players say, you're not saying that players have to dictate where this game is going, but that kind of alignment that allows us to, as players and developer, work in parallel with each other. And I kind of feel at times our roads kind of part a lot further. And this might be one of those examples.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, and sort of, you know, there's a difference between like dropping a change and then versus like, hey, this is the road we're thinking about going down. You know, we have XYZ reasons why we want to do it. Like, can we find, you know, the happy middle ground in here?
Yeah.
Because you know, on its face, like, okay, like separating AQ potions and Alliance War potions doesn't necessarily have to be a negative. It's all about the tuning and the cost. You know, people have been, but this is like one of those things that's been pent up for years. People have been complaining about Alliance War healing not scaling with, you know, the cost of the mode and the expectations, particularly at the high level, to go in at 100% health. And, you know, people are running around with, you know, rank 4 apocalypses that are boosted, that are, you know, eating up all those health potions.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it wasn't, you know, any change to Alliance War is not coming into a healthy ecosystem as it is. So, you know, you can sort of understand the hostility because the players who were really invested in this were already having problems, and they see this as making it worse, not better. You know, I'm really interested in how this plays out over the course of the season, because there's so many high-profile YouTubers in top alliances. So we're going to see a lot of like real use cases for this. Like we're going to see, like, especially, you know, people like Legacy, Karate Mike, you know, Vega. Like, we're going to see what they're spending each war. We're going to see where their loyalty stash goes. They're going to be talking about, you know, did they have to dip into units to get through the map? So I'm really curious to see like where we are in like 2-3 weeks with this, and how people are actually getting through the season. And like, you know, are there stories of like people being kicked because they ran out of loyalty?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know how bad this is going to get, but like, that's, if you're listening to, you know, the real doomsday scenarios, that's what people are talking about.
And that's going to be a situation of, I guess, future within the game mode, how the game mode will look, and will indeed, like, these players kind of try a lot harder to kind of succeed through and kind of like try to use less resource. I don't know if it like not encourages, but there's more pressure to perform in this, which is sometimes that, again, it puts a bit of kind of like too much stress on a game that's meant to be, again, just like more of a relaxed skill-based game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tricky, right? Because you're talking about like perform better, but it's like, you know, we're not talking about the difference between like, you know, clearing a node and getting all the attack bonuses versus dying. We're talking about clearing the node with taking as absolute minimum amount of damage as possible.
True.
That's true. Like, that's, I mean, that's, you know, like no chip damage, and, you know, some of those nodes, it's just, you know, it's really hard not to take any damage on some of those. So I don't know. We're gonna see. It still feels like a very much influx situation, given we haven't gone through a whole season with this yet, and the new loyalty rewards haven't been rolled out yet. So I don't know. It feels like it's going to be a while before this one settles down.
Yeah. Just quickly talking about the Black Cat situation and rebalance, because that's something that's kind of like done the rounds through the week. It's a bit of a scary time with with that. Like,
yeah, because she's the first champ that's eligible for that.
Yeah, and the biggest
know.
thing is like, well, it's great to see videos on, even from a CCP standpoint, and also for players kind of going, oh, this champion's amazing. The biggest thing with it is like, well, how much of a pedestal do we put certain champions that are new to the game as they do this? Because this could be pre-balance, post-balance, and if you go, okay, this champion's great, you pull it from a featured crystal, say, was it the featured crystal, since the champion's put into the game from release, is it 3 months before it enters a featured? Is that a roundabout?
It really depends on where you are in the cycle, because you've got the 6 champs that go in the next featured, so it changes. It can be anywhere from like a couple months to like I think like 4 months.
So okay, that's good then, because that still puts it in the purpose. You say you pull this, like, oh great, I see this champion can do a hell of a lot of damage, fantastic, and then you rank up the champion and you're like, great, and then it's like all of a sudden, yeah, we'll rebalance. The champion's going to be rebalanced.
Yeah, so like for example with Black Cat, like she'll be in the 5-star featured on May 17th. But she won't be in the 6-star featured until July 26th. So there's all the calendars are offset based on release schedules, and it's different pools rolling into the 5 and the 6-star. So it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But as far as like the basic crystal, like let me just pull that up real quick. Because now they combined it, so you enter the 5 and the 6-star basic pool at the same time. Like she's not slated to be in the basic pool until September 13th.
Right.
So we got like 5 months there.
So we'll probably find out, or we'd probably know by then. No, actually, we won't. Well, possibly. Yeah.
I know it's tough, man, because you see like Marcus had some great videos just like destroying Realm of Legends.
Yeah, I think was it like
under 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh dear. Like, it's great to see it.
It is, but like this has been one of my pet peeves about when they tried to do balancing the last time. Like the PR hit and the sort of like taking all the joy out of the community. Like what amount of game tuning like is worth it when your players are just like, oh, that's cool, but you're gonna take it away from us, so I'm not gonna get excited.
Yeah.
Versus, this is so cool, I want to play this game because new character rules.
Yeah.
So it really feels like, you know, I don't mean this in a harsh way, but it's like, you know, the developers, like, they're really good with numbers and not always so good with like gauging like, you know, the reaction of the customer base.
Yeah.
And this clearly feels like we want to accomplish a development goal without considering the impact on the player base and how they feel about it.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said fun. Like the thing I like is finding fun with MCOC. Like every time I feel like, oh right, a little bit negative about the, you know, state of affairs with Champion Rebalance, or like things like Alliance Wars, Potions situation, it's always nice to kind of go like, okay, well, I'm doing Act 7. I like this content. I'm having fun. And trying to like find that fun, which we've talked about for the best part of a year now. That's the main goal. This is meant to be a game that's meant to be like games are meant to be that de-stress from life. It's meant to be something you immerse yourself in, that's kind of fun, and you kind of look to kind of like find friends within the communities of the games you play and other things like that. But then there's the other side of things of going, right, well, you've got to hope the developer is taking the game in certain directions that you like. And when it comes to like the main thing about champions, which is the key focus of this game. It's in the game, Marvel Contest of Champions, which like, and then you have masteries, which are important to the champion's potency and, you know, the usage of them. You have to go, I need to invest in my champion to be strong, to be reliable, and do things. And this is the biggest scary thing about champion rebalance. I think that my two big pet peeves about rebalance is spend versus what is and will be a devalued champion if they're hit by the rebalancing system quite hard. Right. The second part to that is your resources. In some cases, for a lot of players, it may take a long time to get the tier 5 basics they need. The tier 6 basic, of course, even lower resources. If it's taking longer to acquire those resources and you go, oh great, I got this champion which I maybe spent some money, got it as from a Cavalier Crystal at 6-star. I want to make this my rank 4 6-star champion because I either saw a video or didn't see a video and played this champion and found it really potent and really fun and really effective, and then 6 months down the line it's not as potent as you remember, but I've still not wasted, but I've acquired resource to something that doesn't do as much damage as it did before, or has some utility factors removed from it. That's really bad for me personally, looking at this.
Yeah, especially in a game where, you know, if you're getting a champ early, you're spending your entire weekend in the arena.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and probably spending a bunch of units and probably some cash too for the 6-star featured grind, or you're just, you know, you're straight up buying those early access bundles, Cavalier crystals. So yeah, I don't know, it's tough. Like, it didn't work last time. I still have my doubts that it will work this time. It's really hard to feel confident after just looking at the rating system and what they think about some of the champions that they rated. That you know, it's just, I look at some of that stuff and it's just like, wow, that is so far off from how I view those champions in this game that it doesn't give me faith in it.
That rating system pissed me off. It pisses me off because it's so narrow-minded and it misses certain qualities about champions.
It misses so much. And I think I made the crack on Twitter. It's like, well, I guess I've been playing a different Hyperion for the past 5 years. You know, it's just like, you know, I think you know, especially like, I don't want to go down the huge rabbit hole of this, but it's like, utility's a lot more than what you're immune to in this game.
Yeah, it's like your mastery, like, literally changes a champion and is not considered within the champion ratings.
Yeah,
and you need masteries in order to play champions. You don't play champions with.
No one's playing champions without masteries.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's no point to like. There's no point to rating a champion without masteries. That's not. There's no use case for that.
Yeah. I don't know,
Rich. We're gonna upset ourselves.
Yeah,
Find the fun.
Find the fun. It's literally our woosah.
Hey, you know, next Battlegrounds beta is back next week, so that gives me something to be excited about. I'm gonna concentrate on that. Well, another thing that's actually going pretty well. I will segue. Because I want to find my happy place.
Yeah, get out of this. What we were talking about a moment ago.
We're in the spiral here. Rifts are going pretty well. I like the rifts. I'm enjoying it. I'm picking up some 6-star shards. I've only hit that tier 4 class catalyst once so far, so I feel like I'm doing well. What about you?
Mine's going well. Do you know what? I've had a good start. My week 1 went very well. My week 2, week 2 is just like rank up materials in any case, but I'm definitely happy with what I'm picking up. I'm just going to get my special spreadsheet up now as I kind of do a Sean Connery special spreadsheet. And I've got 40. I'm getting a lot of tier 2 alpha. I'm happy about that. That's great. It's all stuff that I need. But, tier 4 basic, I suppose that's handy just having there. I mean, I can get more from the glory store. Not so much on the tier 5 basic side of things. Tier 5, I'm probably needing and more interested in that. But doing my Act 7 run has kind of like topped that up. It probably reminds me I've got to do some rank ups. Otherwise, I'm going to lose that stuff. But apart from that, a good chunk of 6-star shards over Epic Week 1 and Legendary Week 1. And then, I'm just hoping for seeing how Week 3 goes. And then making that decision of, okay, what am I interested in? Because that's still the question I have to ask myself. I don't know if you've done the same thing. As what do I want to get out of this from a lockpick standpoint and facilitating, like, I don't know, 1 full 6-star? Have you decided what you might want to focus on this month with lockpicks and stuff?
Yeah, I've been looking at that. Like the week 4 is probably the interesting one, because there is that big chunk of tier 5 basic, but you've got a 25% chance to hit it, so that's pretty good. I'm probably gonna go with the 6-star signature stone crystals, because those are the hardest thing to get for me. Even though it's such a small chunk. Yeah. It's only 3 and it's random. But those buggers are so hard to get.
That's true.
So I'm probably going to go, I'm tempted by the 6-star shards, but I think I'm going to go with the Sig Stone crystals, particularly because I'm not 100%ing the Cavalier. I'm not really doing much in Cavalier difficulty these days. And that's the one thing, there are some signature stones at 100% Cav difficulty. And that's the one thing I'm kind of missing. So I'm going to try to make up for that. With the selector this month. So at least it'll be something about to get my prestige over 12k finally.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm kind of I'm hoping for a big prestige bump at the end of the month. I think I'm aiming to have Act 7 100%ed by the end of the month, and look at getting hopefully then Doctor Doom. Well, Doctor Strange is coming out next month, but Doctor Doom up to the rank 4, and then kind of see if there's an associated champion I can just bring up as well. Massive prestige bump, and then feeling pretty happy about that. But yeah, I think that concludes a lot of the MCOC portion of this. We should talk about Moon Knight, because we're on episode 3 now.
Yes, we are on episode 3 of Moon Knight. So as always, we are reviewing the episode, talking spoilers. So if you haven't seen Moon Knight episode 3, The Friendly Type, go watch it and then come on back.
Yeah. Oh, where do we begin? So we're in Egypt.
We're in Egypt, and Mark is in the driver's seat. And I gotta be honest, I'm missing our guy Steven a little bit.
Yes, we are. He does crop up in some elements.
He makes the most of his time. when he shows up as Mr. Everyone could just calm the F down.
Yeah.
he had some real good lines, and he's probably only Steven for 3 minutes of the episode, but Steven had some good moments.
Yeah.
But I do miss the guy.
Yeah, I think Steven's character seems to be falling in love with Mark's wife. I mean,
he is.
It's a weird dynamic to kind of explain how that, because technically Steven doesn't. I mean, Steven and Mark are the same person, but Steven's the one that kind of he loves it. I just love some of the moments of he wants to get out, and then as soon as he's Mark's to right, go sort it out kind of thing, and Steven's yeah, okay, cheers, thanks, I'll get on with that. There's lots of this episode taps in a little bit more to the Egyptian gods, Egyptology, and there's some really clever stuff with obviously Steven's part of the clever stuff. Mark's kind of the brawn, where Steven's the brains, and just the kind of mistakes that it's Nonshu, isn't it?
Yeah.
The mistakes that Nonshu makes in his existence as a god, and how other gods kind of perceive him. So it's a whirlwind of adventure.
Yeah, I was gonna say clearly he doesn't have a lot of goodwill built up between him and his fellow Egyptian deities.
Yeah.
Because they go into basically the courtroom where they're going to they're calling out Ethan Hawke's character Arthur Harrow that trying to resurrect this what's the god he's trying to resurrect? Is it Amet?
Amet, yeah, that's Amet, yeah.
Right? And basically it's like, yeah, we're accusing him of doing this, and he just like strolls in and be like, that dude's crazy. Like, it was the most 2020 like argument ever. Because like, don't look at me, that guy. Oh boy, like, you don't like him. He's a bad god, and he's taking advantage of this guy. It's like, oh yeah, like, wait, why are we here? This dude, yeah, like, totally just threw poor Mark, got just thrown under the bus there. So it's although I gotta say, I'm like a little confused. Like, I thought the scarab meant that he found where Amet was, but then it seemed like he hadn't. I'm kind of confused. Like why? Like, if he found the dig site, like, why is he trailing everybody and checking up on Mark and Layla? Like, shouldn't he be digging? I don't know what he's doing there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Confused.
I'm looking at the scarab as well, thinking like, well, what's the scarab to? Is the scarab? What was the? I think didn't they say that the scarab, like the location of the dig site was kind of incorrect? It was like a decoy, and the map that was within the tomb of the character, the actor. I think it's the actor that passed away, which is, I think it's coming up here as Gaspard Ulliel or something. He was the actor that was on the horse. The guy that had I think that's the one that passed away, sadly, because I know somebody passed away. Not 100% sure on that. Just have a look at some of the. I know he wouldn't be in that particular casting there, but in any case, like,
no, you're right. That's the actor.
Yeah, and he. The thing is with that, I don't know if they would have edited that or what happens next, because he gets stabbed in the back, but he goes off. He looks like he's alive for the time being. You don't hear him fall off the horse. So whether or not the character appears in future episodes, or that they may have edited it to kind of like go, okay, well, he went out, but he could be still alive. Don't know. We'll have to kind of figure that out kind of later on down the line. But yeah, like, it's a weird episode. I mean, the kind of like emphasis is that, well, Mark's searching for the tomb. They find that Gaspard Ulliel's character has a sarcophagus of a mummy who has a map which ranges. It's got constellations, it turns out, and that is kind of giving the focus point of where the tomb of Amet is. So it's kind of it's a real whirlwind of ancient Egypt, Egyptology, ancient Egypt gods, mixed together with this wild ride of Stephen and Mark trying to coexist in this body.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a third in there now.
Yes.
After this episode, like, again, I'm sure, like, for those of you who are like hardcore Moon Knight people, like, maybe you guys already know this, but for me, I'm just kind of learning this. Like, I just knew about Mark Spector and Moon Knight. I didn't know anything about Steven with a V before a couple weeks ago, or Mr. Knight. So, like, I'm kind of learning this, but the third person seems to be like more dangerous than Mark.
Yeah,
like, Mark actually seems to have a conscience. Like, when Mark's waking up and like, whoa, what happened? Like, there's someone really, really dangerous running around in that head. If Mark's reacting that way.
Yeah, I want to find out, like, if I just Moon Knight, I'm just gonna put into Moon Knight avatars. I had to look a moment ago. I had this up a moment ago, like, who embodies Moon Knight
in the personalities.
Yeah. Moon Knight. That's probably what I should have put, personalities, and just see like who embodies. Yeah. Funny enough, too, that they've just said like there's kind of like potentially another personality. Who's saying Jake Lockley? And he did personality. Oh no, is that right? No, I think that's like a character because they go Stephen. Two alter egos, Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley. So it could be a case that I need to find.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know. I knew about like Stephen Grant, Moon Knight, Jake Lockley. Man, I wonder what
All right. Well, Oscar Isaac's going to get a chance to stretch even further if we meet this Jake guy.
Yeah.
So that that's interesting. I think we got a couple big questions that I want to see addressed in episode 4. I think the big one is can Mark and Steven summon the suit without Khonshu being locked, with him being locked away. And Layla had a nice breakout in this past episode, but I want them to get more into like her backstory. Like, with the Mark stuff, but also like, what's her backstory? Like, what's the deal with her dad? Like, why did she get into into all these black market relics? Like, there's something interesting there that I hope they get into.
Yeah, I get a feeling as well that Jake Lockley might be the one that's been suppressed for whatever reason because of his actions, and I think the Jake Lockley personality might have killed her father. Is my theory.
Oh,
but that's only like based on just searching right then and going like, well, if Jake Lockley is kind of like a bit of a bastard, then it might be a case that that's something. There's versions of like Stephen Grant is more like Stephen Grant. I reckon is the version of Mark Spector he would like to be, but can't. Mark Spector is the version that is kind of like a little bit of everything, and the most extreme violent version of him is probably like Jake Lockley or something, and just trying to like figure out that kind of medium between who he wants to be and all these kind of personalities.
Right.
Sadly, I mean, there was some good interaction between Nonshu and Steven when they were trying to like do all the kind of the constellations and stuff, because it's weird because like Stephen Grant technically has more in common or more knowledge to kind of have a conversation between Nonshu and himself.
Yeah, he actually gave him the time of day instead of insulting him this episode.
Yeah, which is weird. Nice,
but relationships evolve, I guess.
Yeah, but I think it's good because then it's like, well, I think Steven would have empathy, whereas Mark's possibly some empathy. Whoever this, it depends if the other personality is Jake, would have zero empathy.
Right.
So it's kind of like there's different dynamics plays out as to like the playing, and it's thank God we got Oscar Isaac as the actor that's kind of like doing this, because it's the range, the coverage that is so.
Yes.
It's so good. I love it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're enjoying the Moon Knight journey. How many episodes we got left? Is this a 6?
Oh, I hope it's 7, but I would think you're right. I think it's 6. It must be 6 because they always do even numbers. It'd be a bit weird if it's 7.
Yeah, it's 6. So we get only 3 weeks left. So things are going to escalate quickly.
Yeah, I would like this to come back, and I probably would have liked like some like more episodes with it. I know. Marvel may be a bit tight on like going, well, we can't really give more episodes to it, but it is just such a very different, and also I love the story structure, and also like the way that Oscar Isaac is just kind of like doing it. Ethan Hawke as well, and there's so many different.
Ethan Hawke's so good.
Yeah,
I really love him in this. Like he's so creepy. He's doing a great job. Oh, did you catch they name dropped Madripoor?
Yes, they did, didn't they? That was
I was like, I understand that reference. So that was kind of cool because up until this point, like Moon Knight has like not even referenced anything else that's going on that we've seen in the larger Marvel universe. So that was interesting too. It's like, okay, like Moon Knight and Madripoor, like that could be some fun.
Yeah, I would like to have I'd love to see like a Madripoor like a Madripoor series or something that kind of looked at the of like day-to-day goings on. Like one episode is like, you know, Moon Knight's story and like what Moon Knight would have been doing or Mark Spector would have been doing in Madripoor. You know, one where like another character who's mentioned Madripoor was there. Stuff that Sharon Carter?
Sharon Carter, yep.
Sharon Carter there. You know, maybe there was something like, I don't know, the new Wolverine. Well, I don't know, they can't read the new Wolverine in there. But kind of like maybe choose some other characters that have had times in Madripoor just to kind of bring more life and importance to Madripoor. But, you know, we can only live and hope for that, Dan.
Yes.
Right, I think that's a good time to end the show. What are you up to next week or hoping to get done next week?
Oh, just some more paths in 7.3, some more rifts, and it is April school vacation coming up. So my son is off school, and he has been asking about amusement parks, and there's one of them. Do you have Six Flags in England?
We do not, no.
Okay, so Six Flags is like big regional theme park here, but a lot of the rides are based on like DC characters. There's like the Superman roller coaster and the Joker. So like he's finally big enough that he can go on like the big roller coasters. So we're going to Six Flags next week, and you know, he loves roller coasters. So I'm just excited to you know, take a day off and you know, have a little time with the kid and make some memories.
Lovely. That sounds beautiful. I'm gonna try and do the same. I've got some family stuff tomorrow and Sunday, and also got to get, unfortunately, all this units kind of grabbed. It's not too bad. I've only got like 500 more to do, so, and then get into 7.4.6 and hopefully let the good times roll. And there we go. That has been the show, everybody. Thank you very much for listening and watching. We'll be back for the next episode very, very soon. Have a lovely time, a lovely weekend. Bye bye.